Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, summarized by Bukola Odedeyi and voiced by Uyo Uyo. Blood streaked down the 15-feet wall, a pure, red and unending flow, while a sinister voice whispered in the background, "You'll never get away. You'll never get away. You'll never get away." On and on like a broken record. I've seen countless horror movies and my reactions were always similar. When the movie ends and life must go on, then my troubles will start. "John, please come with me to the bathroom," I desperately begged my brother. He refused. I stood my ground, the burning urine threatening to burst my bladder, yet for the life of me, I couldn't go relieve myself. "John!" By now, the tears were dropping and the dam below was starting to leak. "Come off it!" he snapped. "I've told you that it's not real. It's just a movie." Poor me. It took a lot of convincing for my twisted pre-adolescent mind to separate facts from fiction. Looking back now, I laugh and said, silly me. But the thing is, even as adults, how often do we separate logical thinking from emotional reaction? Most times, we go the emotional route by default, and this is the first major lesson of the book, Thinking Fast and Slow. Despite being wired for both emotional and logical reasoning, we think more emotional than logical. By the way, if this is your first time on our channel, welcome and consider subscribing because we'll help you to read all the world's best books under 7 minutes. Let's move to the second lesson. Now that we got that out of the way, let us move on. How did you react when one lousy weather ruined your day? I mean, you had a grand plan for the day, beach time with Bae, and all of a sudden this? Let's just say the clouds selected that day to shed a major part of your watery burden. I'm sure nothing could be worse than that. In that shoe, I'll go to bed, off to dreamland. I mean, the day is messed up already. What else is there to do? How about on a Monday morning, after being commended by the boss at the sales meeting? You'll feel like you can fly, right? Bring it on! The sales superhero can handle anything. In both situations, it's not exactly what you did that set your attitude for the day. It was what you heard or experienced. This is exactly the second major lesson in thinking fast or slow. The environment affects our attitude, and cheerful minds are more creative. So, you want to be creative? Be cheerful. Every good thing has its own bad side, right? There is no place I could think of that this is true than the world of social media. Endless distraction and tons of fake news. I mean, who doesn't know that you cannot inject bananas with infected blood and then start selling them in the retail shops? You basically received this same information from 16 buddies and saw it on 10 groups. After receiving this broadcasted message from your friend whose opinion you value and your former boss who you respected so much, you start to think that maybe, just maybe, there's an iota of sense in the message. The truth is that the content of the message has not changed since the first time you saw it and discarded it as fake, and now you've started to consider its possibility. So what changed? Exposure. You see, the more we see of something, the more normal it seems, until situations that were hitherto unthinkable is now accepted as normal. Why? It's simply because we've seen it so many times, our minds simply accept it as a regular thing. Just look at the dressing of beauty pageant contestants over the last 70 years. Silly me, right? Silly me. But this is the third major lesson in thinking fast and slow. Constant exposure of your message influences your audience. Have you ever been reluctant to show your exam scores to your parents? Or you actually shred the offensive report before getting home from school? I knew a boy who did that back in the days. I said boy, remember? So it's not me. Huh? But why? Why are numbers so important that students that come first in their class are deemed smarter than their peers? Why? when over and over it has been shown that examination scores does not necessarily translate to an emotional smart person or equal success in life. I believe that if exam scores equal success, then the A students should be ruling the world, while the F students are condemned to cleaning toilets. But things don't always turn out that way. Time and again, we see the lower students building business empires while the top students work there as engineers and researchers. It's a funny world, right? No, this is not to tell off anyone. It's a matter of each person operating in their area of strength. This is just to show that sometimes great figures does not translate to better ending. And this is the fourth major point of the book, Thinking Fast and Slow. Get the facts behind the stats. I learned the truth about events reporting the hard way. You see, I belonged to a group whereby a member shared news of events or tips that he went on. Such exercises are fun, as we explore the opportunities and excitement of such trip through the report of a friend. Well, this particular time, I had taken a trip to the capital city of my country. It was a time of great fun as I explored the history of my beautiful country through the artifacts, the people, and the natural features of the city, and of course, the government. Well, I came back home and had to gist my pals about my trip. Then, I discovered that even though I had a fantastic experience on my trip, I had a hard time recollecting specifics without referring to a note. Once again, the good old pen and paper saved the day. This, however, is the fifth major point of the book, Thinking Fast and Slow. Your brain doesn't have the capacity to remember so much details. If anything is important to you, write it down. Now, let's discuss. What lessons do you think I missed in this book? What points would you like to add? Which other good books would you like our team to summarize next? We love to receive your comments. If you love this summary, our team will be very happy if you can like this video and share it with your friends on social media. And if you've not subscribed to our channel, subscribe now and turn on the notification, because we'll help you to read all the best books in the world within 7 minutes. Kindly watch the next video we recommend for you in your screen right now. We love you.